Welcome everyone. Let's begin our lesson for today by going over our learning goals and success criteria. First, what are we learning? First, we're learning how to compute exponential expressions on integers and fractions, how to perform exponential operations and recognize like terms, how to work with positive, negative, and fractional exponents on integers and variables, how to recognize patterns in linear functions and exponential functions, how to recognize the differences between linear functions and exponential functions, how to recognize patterns in the graphs of exponential functions, to determine how base values, coefficients, and constants will affect the graph of an exponential function, how to graph exponential functions, how to find function values for exponential growth functions, and how to find function values for exponential decay functions. How are we learning it? Through the exponential functions MYP assessment assignment. When can we use the information in this lesson? To calculate the amount of money in a savings account including interest, to calculate the amount of money owed on a loan including interest, to examine sales trends at work to determine how much growth is occurring within the company's sales, and to complete a variety of tasks through trial and error rather than having to be formally taught the procedures. How do we know we learned it? By getting a score of 4 on the exponential functions MYP assessment assignment. Now let's take a look at our agenda for today. We'll begin by going over our learning goals and success criteria. After that, I'll give you time to complete the exponential functions MYP assessment assignment on Desmos. At the end of class, we'll go back over our learning goals and success criteria while you fill out your before you go. Your only homework for tonight is to complete any incomplete assignments that you may have. Let's talk now about how to sign in to Desmos to complete your work. So what we're going to do is you're going to click on the link to go to the assignment, and it should take you to a page that looks kind of like this. And right here where it says sign in with Google, we're going to click there. And it's going to pop up with our email accounts. You're going to click on your school email account, and it should already have you logged in because you should have already been logged in using Google Classroom. From there, I'm just going to click start the activity, and it will take me into the assignment and allow me to begin. So that's how you will log in to Desmos using Google. Let's take a look now at the exponential functions MYP assessment assignment. Now if you notice, our assignment begins here with our learning goals and success criteria. We'll go ahead and scroll down, and there's a link here to the Desmos activity. We'll go ahead and click on that, and here we see our assignment for today. We're going to go ahead and click start the activity. So we have our learning goals and success criteria here. Go ahead and click next. It gives us instructions that says do not open the examination until you're instructed to do so. You can use a calculator. Answer all the questions. Answers must be in the boxes that are provided. You should always round to 3 significant figures, meaning round to 3 decimal points. The maximum amount you can get for each section is 8 points. And fully complete all questions for both sections. Maximum marks will be given for correct answers. We'll go ahead and click next. So the first one says you are planning to open up a savings account with your local bank. You currently have $2,250 to put into the savings account. The bank informs you that the current interest rate is 3.75% and compounds annually. So the first one says what is the correct parent function? So this is an exponential function, so you should use the parent function that's given to you, which in this case is a equals p times 1 plus I to the n power. That is the correct parent function for compound interest. Now you're going to state the equation you'd use. So you'd plug this information into that equation and then solve and put your answer here. Now we're going to change the scenario and say that after 6 years, the interest rate changed to 3.25%. So calculate how much you had before it changed, and then after 10 years, how would it look? And then solve for the difference in the amount of money. So how much less money did you make because the interest rate changed? Then you'll go ahead and take a look at this one. You'll answer these questions on bacteria. So you'll write the equation and graph it. Once you've graphed it, you're going to answer these questions about the bacteria. You'll click next. Then you're going to answer these questions, these true-false questions about the graph here. As we get towards the end, you're going to answer these questions where it gives you an expression and you're going to write it in the form of a to the m. So you're going to write this as a to the m, meaning what is m? You're going to change that to the exponent that it should be. And you'll do that for each of these. And on the last one it says, for his science experiment, Julio placed a pan of water in his refrigerator to see how long it would take to evaporate. After 2 days, there was 280 milliliters of water in the pan. After 4 days, there was 240 milliliters of water in the pan. In his report, he noted that the same amount of water evaporated each day. So how much water is evaporating each day? Remember, you need to change this. So this is how much there was after 2 days. This is how much there were after 4 days. Make sure that you figure out how much there was after 3 days, because that's how much change there was after 1 day. And then find the number of days it'll take before the water's completely evaporated. So that's your MYP assessment. When you're done with that, you'll go back to your Google form, click Next. This will send you to your Before You Go. Make sure you fill out your Before You Go and then submit your work on Google Classroom.